Good evening. The Gibraltar Zoning Board of Appeals meeting is now called to order. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Secretary, please read the roll.
Harris.
Here.
Cosmore. Here. Markham. McCarthy.
Here.
Defend.
Here.
Eager.
Here.
So we need a motion to excuse Mr. Markham.
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We need approval of the last meeting's agenda.
I'll make the motion. I'll second that.
All those in favor of approval?
Aye.
Aye. And then we just need approval for tonight's agenda.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Next on the agenda is new business. First of all, I'd like to welcome Marcia. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Jason Gwiewicz at 30663. Would you like to come up and tell us what you'd like to do?
So we're attempting to build a shed. Well, it's built, it was delivered. I think you stopped by and saw it. When we initially moved in we just built 2 years ago, Fiasco building. We had asked whoever's at the desk out here, like, do I need a building permit for a shed? And I was told no, which I later learned I should have asked if I needed a zoning permit, which I didn't. So I was handed the packet and said I had to follow these as though it was a permit, which doesn't say anything about zoning permit in it. It said 20 feet from the street or property line, which I thought we did because we went 20 feet from the street. I'm actually 30, my proposal is to be 37 feet from the street, which is 17 feet from the property line. I'm more than far enough from my house, my neighbor's house. I'm less than 15 feet. So I followed everything else, and it's very poorly worded, I'll say, because everything that's in parentheses I followed, right? That's in that little pamphlet that they reference. So I did all of those things, and we thought we followed. We have a kind of a prickly neighbor that we knew was going to complain, so we tried to make sure we followed everything, and clearly we failed. So I'm asking to move it up 3 feet, to take 3 feet off of that variance on the roadside only, which would still put me set back further from the road than both of the neighbors on both sides.
Just out of curiosity, when you came to the city, I mean, would you go to the building department or?
Yes, yeah, whatever is that the building department over here?
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw 2 stakes in the ground.
Yeah, there's 3. There's one behind it as well.
Okay. And your property line is probably, what, 6 feet off of the street?
20.
It's 20.
It's 20. Yes.
So that, boy, that's a lot.
Yes. And I think
From
the
the
way,
edge of the street,
I have a survey.
so I'm looking here. So the iron, see, right there, yeah, you see a measurement?
No. I see the iron, but I don't see the distance.
So I've measured the rod from the road, and it's roughly 20 feet.
20 feet. So then that would put the,
I'm proposing moving the shed back 17 feet from that property line.
out of the 3 stakes, because you had room to go back.
Yeah, so that's moving it all the way back and still keeping it, I have to say 10 feet from the house. So that's as
Right.
far back as I can go without being closer than 10 feet to the house. And then the third stake is behind the shed. The fourth stake would be in the shed if I move the shed. So that's why there's only 3 stakes there.
And were you thinking about putting this on a foundation, or?
Yes, I was gonna have a slab poured once I figure out where it's going.
Okay. This was already built? I mean, you had this built and then delivered?
Yeah, it was dropped. It was dropped there.
Okay. Well, that's a nice piece of free land there. Wow, okay,
That's not real.
yeah. Ooh. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I don't, it doesn't affect anybody else really. I mean, the neighbors that it does affect are sitting here today. They don't have a problem with it. The neighbors on the other side don't have a problem with it. It actually sits back further, even my proposed area will sit about even with the front of their house and probably 15 to 20 feet back from the neighbor's shed that you probably saw to the, I guess that'd be northwest,
I saw it
northeast.
Pretty far back.
Yeah.
So, and I
Is
think
it-
that,
I
I
mean,
think that road bends so that like not everybody has that 40-foot, right? Because like on both sides of the street going up and down, they're very much closer to the road than we are.
You know, one of the things that the board looks, two things that are kind of important to the board is lot coverage and distance from the property line, you know, so we're not crowding the street or the front yard.
Which we're not close on either. Other than the street, which I don't consider 37 feet close.
Yeah, I guess that's the million-dollar question, you know, if you go from the road, you're okay.
Yes.
You know, if you go from the property line, which is what it says in the ordinance, then it's a problem.
It references both, and I don't see where it says one supersedes the other. And maybe
It says from the street or front lot line.
yeah, or. Well, that's where it was confusing. To me, if your property line's less than 20 feet, it makes sense to be more than 20. But I don't know why it would be, like I would think 20 would be the minimum, right? That's how I would read it.
Yeah, I understand, you know, I get it. I underlined front lot line because, you know, it's your property. So, you know, it starts where your property, but you guys kind of see how it says from the street or front lot line.
Yeah, or is the key word.
Yeah, or as, Jane, that's probably something we can clean up. Okay, anything else?
No, I mean, do you need to hear the hardship? I put everything on there. Do you need me to repeat all that, or we?
Everybody read it?
Oh, yeah, I've read it. Reading it right now, too.
I mean, it's your time, so if you know, whatever you'd like to say, you're welcome to say it.
Well, I mean, so back to your, like, the 40% rule, like, we had, so our build was kind of a fiasco. So we actually were supposed to have a side entry garage. It was gonna be larger. They came back and told us we couldn't, it wouldn't fit on the property, so which we had it redrawn, and then we had it redrawn again. And then they changed where the line was, and so then it was okay. And then when we got done, we noticed on the drawing, when the initial time I put in for this shed, they said it exceeded our 40%, which it doesn't. We have a relatively small house, all things considered, in Gibraltar. Like, it's a new house, but it's smaller than most. We didn't exceed that, and like it said on our survey that we did, so again, our survey was wrong again. So after we got denied the first time, we went back to the survey guy, because I called Chuck and I said, Chuck, my math doesn't add up to your math. And he's like, my math doesn't add up to my math either. So then we went back to the survey guy, and on the survey, it said we exceeded. It had only one lot, so we're a lot and a half.
You're a lot and a
Yeah,
half.
so the math was done on one lot, not a lot and a half. So we are well below that 40%. We're not,
Including the shed?
yes, including the shed. I think we're at 25% now.
Okay.
So, So it's just a matter of like figuring out if the shed is acceptable, then we're gonna pour the slab hopefully in the next week or so. If not, then we're gonna pour a smaller slab and cut this shed down. Like, we've already purchased the shed. It would cost me more money to sell it and buy a smaller one. So either I have a pretty symmetrical shed or I cut 2 feet off of the front, 2.5 feet off of the front and fit it on the lot. Because I think I'm actually like 2.5 feet bigger. I just put 3 so I could, I got a little wiggle room there.
I mean, to cut that off, that shed would be, like, ugh. I mean, that'd be kind of rough. Yeah.
I'd
They're
rather
gonna pick
not.
it up.
That's why I'm here.
They're gonna pick it up now and pour a slab under it when you get
Yeah,
this all sorted.
so our goal is after this meeting, if it gets approved, we're gonna drag it forward, have somebody come out, it's a couple $100, you're gonna drag it forward, have the slab poured, lift it back on, put on the slab, and then do it. We won't have a driveway either. Then once that is done, we'll do our driveway and our walkway. So,
Okay.
And just from my understanding, the reason why it can't just be moved back 3 feet to accommodate the.
it would be closer than 10 feet to the house.
Okay, thank you.
So you're choosing to be closer and get the variance for the lot line instead of the house?
Yes, I mean, if it's easier the other way, that's fine, but I thought for fire code, it was probably easier to get the 3 feet on the roadside than it was on the house side, but
Right.
if not, I'm okay with that too. If somebody tells me they can fit it on my lot some other place, I'm good with that.
We're always concerned about fire, when you get, if you had a gas can go up in the shed,
Right,
It's happened, right?
yeah, that's why I had it, I actually have, I mean, you've seen it, I've got it quite a ways forward, because I think I'm 26 feet from the road now, because I thought it was just 20 feet from the road, not property line. So now, yeah, we're moving it back almost 10 more feet.
Okay. Anything else you like, Dan?
I think that's it.
Okay, we appreciate it.
How long, like, when do we know? I guess, when do we know whether it gets approved, not approved?
For tonight.
Tonight?
One thing nice
How
about,
long we argue?
one thing nice about zoning board, we'll give you an opinion. You may like it, and you may not, but we'll give you one.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. At this time, would anybody like to speak and be in support or denial? Any comments from the audience? Please come up and state your name and your address.
Hi, my name is Leanne Flynn, and my husband Mike and I, we reside at 30665 Young Drive. So we are neighbors directly next door to the Griswacks. So we wanted to come here tonight really to express our full support for the zoning variance request that they've submitted. And I believe that's a 3-foot variance or 2.5, whatever Jason mentioned. We feel we're the most affected residents and neighbors to that shed as we're right next door. It does sit directly adjacent to our porch, and we really have no concerns with the placement of that shed or its location. We actually think it looks very nice and beautiful. The work that they've done on their house during the build, everything's been top-notch, and we also feel that it has increased the value of our properties here throughout Gibraltar, so we think that's a positive. And throughout the whole process of the build, they've been nothing but considerate and respectful, so we really appreciate that. But we do believe that it's a reasonable request. It's only 2.5 feet. The setback, as he was mentioning, 37 feet, or it's quite a distance from the road. So it's not like he's right up, 5 feet from the edge of the road. It's still set back quite a bit. But really, we are just here in full support. We do wish that you do grant them the approval for that. And, we're happy to provide this, and hopefully it helps with your decision tonight in this regard. And that's all we had.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This time, we'll close public opinion, and, it's, it's 3 feet and the word "or."
That's the thing, it's not, doesn't even exceed the distance from the road.
Yeah,
It's just a lot line.
you know, I think it would be unreasonable to whack off 3 feet off the shed.
Silly.
That'd be
I agree. I
ludicrous.
wouldn't want any closer to the house.
And,
Exactly.
you guys have a question?
The neighbor just talking right now, that was, him and I both were
That's
concerned
the
about
most
that.
affected person
Yeah.
there. And if you look at the shed north of that, it's a
Yeah.
lot further, a lot closer to the road.
Yep.
It's not like he's, you know,
Obstructing, yeah.
yeah. Sounds good to me.
3 feet is what he needs?
3 feet's what he needs.
2.5. He said 2.5. He said 2.5. I'm just saying, he said 2.5.
Well, they said 2.5, but,
He said 2.5.
we're gonna go the 3 foot since that's what was
So
published.
you say you would have sold to be cheaper if I would have started lower. No.
I'll make a motion to pass that, grant him the variance.
I'll second that.
So the motion is to grant a 3-foot front lot setback for the placement of a shed.
Right.
Secretary, you want to call for the question?
Okay. Harris,
Yes.
Cosmore,
Yes.
McCarthy,
Yes.
Toofend,
Yes.
Eager.
Yes.
Congratulations, your variance is granted, so thank you for coming. At this time, any other old business comments?
So is
Need a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
All right, real quick, is there any public comment?
Oh,
No?
Okay.
thank you.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All
Meeting's
right,
adjourned.
Thank you.